Hello collective, welcome to the channel. We're going to tap right in, get a message, get a storyline for the collective. Storyline for the collective, please spirit, storyline for the collective. Central energy. We've got the Hierophant. In the challenge position. Ten of Cups. And the Hermit reversed. Could be that Ten of Cups unions of long ago lost their way. Partners of centuries gone by, perhaps. Divine love lost its way. In the subconscious. The Six of Pentacles. In the recent past. That came out and flipped into the reverse. We've got King of Pentacles in the reverse. dealing with some indulgent, greedy masculine. Intentions and expectations. Tower. In the near future. We've got the Sun. A rebirth. The lens is being looked through. Chariot. Moving in a new direction, moving forward, leaving something behind. Perhaps you have a victory over something in the environment. Page of Swords. Hopes and fears. High Priestess. And the outcome. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. Queen of Cups, Empress, and Queen of Pentacles. So there's a whole lot of love. Divine Feminine. Freedom. Freedom from those who've been working to you got limitless potential, and you are free from those who have been working to commit fraud or to unalive you or to do whatever, these abusive relationships. You're free from them, and it could be that your new foundation, like they're going to be restricted from being on your new foundation. Your hard work is bringing you a brand new beginning, and you've got death here. So this is over. So there's the Hierophant here. Four of Swords. Planning for the future. Laying something to rest. Meditating. Challenged because divine love, Ten of Cups, divine loves lost their way. Lovers. Distance. Could be that somebody lied. They weren't telling the truth. The truth was hidden. We've got Six of Pentacles here in the subconscious, Charity. Knight of Swords. Thinking fast, rushing in. King of Pentacles reversed. Somebody who's obsessed with wealth and status. King of Pentacles. This greedy person is obsessed with your Ten of Pentacles, with your inheritance. They're in a tower. And the wheel's turning. Sun is here, rebirth. Ace of Pentacles, abundance. The Chariot here. Knight of Wands. Page of Swords is in the environment. Justice reversed. Dishonest, lack accountability, some sort of a punishment for this dishonesty. They're all up in their head. They're afraid of this High Priestess. Who is in a Nine of Wands. The faith has been tested. She's very persistent and resilient. He's afraid of this High Priestess. Ace of Cups is here. And it's protected by the truth. You're standing up for yourself when it comes to love. You're persevering, you're persevered, you're maintaining control over your love with the truth. The truth is here. Lots of people making up stories, using verbiage in their idea, proper words, in order to convict and condemn others while they prance around and present themselves as a holy person or something. It's the venom that's coming off of these people it's so unbelievable. Their incessant need to cause trouble for people. Oh, and yeah, so we got the Ace of Swords. You know the truth about this competition, this challenge. You're protected, you're maintaining control, you have the truth here. And again, you've got your Chariot. You're moving on, you're free, you're moving on into some kind of a celebration. I don't know what dimensional reality this is, whether you're experiencing it in a 3D or whether you got some Holy Spirit out there wandering through the freaking universes, loving on somebody. I don't know, but there you go. You're leaving in that Chariot and you've got your freedom there. In the history, you have been able to manage multiple projects and keeping yourself stable. So you're moving forward. And we got somebody who is in sorrow here because the Hierophant is taking the divine feminine and ending the cycle of this brutality. The news is being received here. about this opportunity, a new beginning, and there is celebration for new love. And it could very well be that there is a Page of Cups offering new love, but they're disappointed and getting left behind, which gives them a Five of Pentacles, because the King of Swords knows the truth over what they've been doing with the Love Cup, and he's got a victory here, or you have a victory over this person, very, very strong victory and public recognition. This is the end of the heavy burden that you've been carrying, and either the Emperor is finished with this restructuring kind of a thing going on, or he's bringing a heavy burden to somebody who's being disconnected for all of the illusions that they were casting or surrounding sacrifice and all of that. They're getting disconnected. They could be getting let go like that because they were greedy. So yeah, the Emperor and the Hierophant know the truth about these masculines and their sacrificial habitual patterns of the divine for gain. They didn't want to do the work. They wanted to steal the mind of another rather than becoming. Rather than becoming a true King of Pentacles, they target people who are in a Ten of Pentacles and do bad stuff. So we got the Hierophant here and the Four of Swords. Renewal. Recovery. Plans for the future. Discipline. A renewal of a disciplined life, you know. Starting the test all over again. Challenges, Ten of Cups, divine love, total love and support. There's a withdrawal or resignation. They're at a distance. They've lost their way. The lovers have lost their way. He's not shining a light on it. He's not letting people research. He's not letting people spy on it with the. So you got the Ten of Loves, total love and support, and the Hermit is in the reverse regarding these lovers. So it's like nobody's going to be able to spy on them or research them. Do any of that. So those who lost their way aren't going to be able to spy on them anymore, shine a light on them. They're not going to get any guidance from them either. Growth. So those people who were hidden, it could Ten of Cups, I don't know, man. They lost their way or whatever, but now we've got the lovers here with growth. It could be that they lost their way, take it as it resonates, but now they've grown. There's a generosity here. Charity. Somebody's rushing in, thinking fast. Yeah. Somebody's envious. So you got this charity. You've got your Ten of Pentacles here, and you've got this envious person here rushing in. They got their freaking sword raised. They're moving fast. King of Pentacles reversed is very greedy, very indulgent, obsessed with wealth and status, and he's looking at this 10 of Pentacles here of the relationships that serve the higher good. So yeah, you've got a King of Pentacles, a greedy, obsessed with the wealth and status of other people, and they look, and he's focused on this 10 of Pentacles that belongs with relationships that serve the higher good. He's obsessed. And he's in a tower. He wants to bring a tower to you. He's expecting to be in a tower. The wheel is turning. Yeah, so yeah, he's greedy, and he's been targeting the 10 of Pentacles of relationships that serve the higher good. He's been targeting people that have this, that are meant to do things in a disciplined and purposeful way. And he's been coming in and stepping in, and then what? I heard one of them say, replace you. So he gets a contract, he gets possession of the wealth, and then he does whatever he wants to. As a stubborn, obsessed, indulgent little bastard. He's in a tower. The wheel is turning. He's in judgment. The sun is here. Rebirth, all is well, and an ace of pentacles. So there's a new career, prosperity, balance. Restoring a state of perfect harmony in the world. You got the Chariot here, and you're departing, you're leaving behind. We've got success. You're leaving behind the passion project, Mr. Schwankster, Mr. Charming. And you're doing that successfully. You know that there's no greater goal than to love, and you're in your chariot and you're leaving behind the Schwankster because you know that there's no greater goal than to love. And it's like there's a page here, restless in their mental body, because justice is here in the reverse. They were unfair. They lacked accountability. They lied about everything, and they're guilty, and there's punishment. They're afraid of this high priestess who is weary, whose faith has been tested, who proved her position with the divine. You know, these ones covered her in blame and shame and tried to dress her up in the illusion that she was just a filthy little prostitute. You got the Hierophant right here. He sees the truth of it. Yeah. Buried, weary, blame, wearied of the blame, choosing to focus on the lighter side of life. These ones had covered the high priestess in blame and shame. There's death here for them, a severe punishment. They're worried. Got the Ace of Cups here. Love, divine love. Divine love. Seven of Wands. You're protected. You're standing up for yourself, maintaining control. The Ace of Swords. You have the truth here. And you are in your purpose. It's like these ones wanted to destroy your purpose, but you are in your purpose, and they're in grief over it. They're very upset because you're very honest. And when it says, I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. When the entire world was lying on this high priestess, she still spoke the truth. Just a little while ago, I had the message misjudged. So there were entities or judges present that misjudged this high priestess during the many cycles that she has been buried under this mess. So it's like, you know, people are coming to the realization that they can't necessarily rely on their idea of wisdom because they've been misjudging. I don't know what's been going on, or maybe they just couldn't see through the illusion. Maybe they didn't see that it was existing. Maybe they truly believed that an actual high priestess could be that. Oh, we're done here. Yeah, these ones need to surrender their need to control love. There's a change for those limitless, abundant beings who were left alone. They're here in service. The negative energy is being released. They're here to bring peace. And these people who were bringing adversity, they don't know what to do. They're afraid. Because, look, we've got perseverance, trust, imagination. So the perseverance of this high priestess is bringing about a situation where we're moving into a status where you can trust the messages that you're receiving, the messages that are being told in the mind, your telepathic messages. You possess gifts of the soul that benefit you and others. The sad thing about it is, with a misjudgment or a deceitful conviction, I mean, it destroys people and lives. And somehow this high priestess survived. So the Hierophant's here, making plans for the future, restoring, it looks to me like discipline. We got introvert, separation, your discipline is private. You're going to be separated from the online community. Maybe you are an introvert. 10 of Cups, divine love and total love and support. But we've got the Hermit reversed. So it could very well be that somebody lost their way. Divine love lost their way. And now it looks like the lovers are coming back together because they've grown in consciousness and awareness. This divine love lost their way, and now they're back together. Daydream. So there is charity here, and you've got an envious Knight of Swords coming forward fast. Mask wear. This is a mask wear, pretending to be calm. But look at the energy they're in. Or they're coming forward to you. Look, so this is they're there. They're like rushing forward. They're wearing a mask. They're very envious. They want to come in and take advantage of your charity. They're pretending that they are a peaceful person. Maybe they envy the fact that you are. They're stressed out. They're stressed out. They don't know what to do. Because you're okay, you're stable, and there's care here. King of Pentacles in the reverse, obsessed with other people's wealth. Religion? Yeah. A greedy, financially inept person continuously gaining relationship with people who have 10 pentacles and then doing things with this religious stuff. They're in a tower. The wheel is turning. They're under judgment. They're under judgment by family. Their family is judging them. Maybe they're mad for what the heck they've been doing. There's death here. I heard somebody complaining that they were told that this was an opportunity, and come to find out it's like punishment and death, and people are freaking out. These envious mask wearers. Because the sun is here with the Ace of Pentacles and balance. And they're blind. They can no longer look at it. They can no longer spy on it. Maybe they're being blinded by the sun. Maybe the sun is here in a new career, restoring perfect harmony here, and taking away people's sight so that they cannot get into the mind of those who hold sacred wisdom anymore. So there's the Chariot here. You're leaving behind. You're departing here. You're going in a new direction. You have control. So you are leaving the Knight of Wands. Passion, project, Prince Charming. You're successful. You know that there's no greater goal than to love. It's time. You're leaving that fearless, sexy, charming, passion, F-boy energy behind. Because you know there's no greater goal than to love, so you're out of here. And they're losing you. They're so angry. Page of Swords is all up in their mental body. Feeling restless. Because justice is in the reverse. They got punishment for lying. For all these lies, all this unfairness, this lack of accountability. They're guilty, and there's death here. This is the conclusion. This is the fruits of their labor. This is the fruits of their labor. The High Priestess is here. Her faith was tested over a long period of time. She's weary yet resilient. She chose to look at the lighter side of life when everybody was covering her in their blame and their shame. These indulgent ones. And natural freaking disasters. Look. So it could be that because she chooses to focus on the lighter side of life, that those who were blaming her for what they were doing are in a natural disaster, nightmare. Her faith was tested. She's weary yet resilient and very persistent. She's courageous. She wants to live her damn life as she is. And you got all these vampires out here lying, cheating, stealing, trying to foul her energy with their nastiness. So now they're in a freaking nightmare. Suffering, death. This is their gain. This is what they have gained. All of the horror that they have put upon the divine feminine is coming back on them. There's an Ace of Cups here. Divine love. Big old cup of love. Standing up for yourself, maintaining control. You have the Ace of Swords. You have the truth here. You're in your purpose. And this is being stopped. Whatever siphoning and lying and tapping into the mind of the sacred wisdom, these pages with they tapped in, they stole the mental, intellectual property of a high value, high level, high priestess. And they did horrid things to her mind, raping her mind of all of its information, its identity, its knowledge, its memories. They wanted your money. Now the indulgent one wants you to save them. They're stubborn. They're stubborn. They got stuff going on in their head, but you're getting ready to go start your business and get a new house or something. You're the gift. You are having sweet dreams, and there's a vow for some kind of a collaboration between you and your alliances. Somebody wants to compromise. They want to compromise with you. You're a high value being. They want to compromise with you because they want to take part in your life. There's a network of people here who thought it was a great idea to try to destroy this high value, sacred feminine. And now they're frightened because they were bribed. And she received mercy, aid. This coach who gave them the strategy to mind F people who actually love themselves. And there's proof of the adventure that they went on to try to get this blessing. This mental disturbances, this bullying, this domination, using her own sacred wisdom to destroy her mind and her life. Punk ass bitch is now furious because justice is being served. For the history of what they've been doing with marriage and marriages. They're getting cast away because of all the curses that they have been putting upon families and these connections. They fell into a trap. And they're bound to the commitments that they made while trying to make these sweethearts suffer loss and illness. You've reached your goal. You've lived and learned. You've learned a lot about this, and this is over. There's death. And you are promised your destiny here. There's a third world enemy stuck in their head. They're protesting loneliness because you persevered through their attempts to rob you using magic, illusion. They used your own freaking sacred wisdom against you. And they wonder why, Divine Feminine thinks they're disgusting. coming forward acting all sweet. Hierophant is here making plans for the future. There is a return to discipline, or maybe there will be some discipline delivered to an online community, or that was generating false evidence, messing with people's accounts, creating duplicate accounts, and then putting out false information to frame people, to set them up so that they would be deceitfully convicted of things that they did not do. He could be delivering some discipline, separating these people. Yeah, they're getting bad news. They're being disciplined. They're being separated from love. 10 of Cups, divine union. Lost their way, but they've grown in consciousness and awareness, and they're back together. The lovers are back together. We've got daydream and tribe. So they've grown and expanded. We've got daydream and tribe. There could be you might be thinking of a new family. You might be dealing with this tribe that was messing with your mind. Maybe you have you've grown and expanded in consciousness and awareness throughout the illusions that these tribe members were playing on your mind. They wanted your charity. They still want your charity. You got a Knight of Swords here, rushing in fast. He's moving real fast, thinking fast. He's a mask-wearing, envious person. And you're leaving. You're taking your calm self and you're out of here. You're just leaving. They may want to try to take a trip with you, but this is an envious mask wearer. If somebody's inviting you to go on a trip, to travel somewhere peaceful, watch out. This is a mask wearing, envious person that is thinking fast, targeting somebody who has empathy. Yeah. They're going to say, I'm sorry for causing you chaos, but this is just gaslighting. They may say, causing you chaos, trying to get revenge, trying to mess with people's minds. This is no. They need your emotional support. They want to apologize, and it could just very well be that they want revenge and to bring more chaos to you, to mess with your mind. That's all they ever do. Watch out for that one. You've got a greedy, obsessed King of Pentacles in the reverse. They are obsessed with your 10 of Pentacles. These relationships that are here to serve the higher good, they were obsessed with the wealth that they were here to build their purpose with. This religious person. So they did religious stuff for entertainment. They used religion as an entertainment tool to gain tens of pentacles from people who are here to serve the greater good. They're in a tower. The wheel is turning. There's judgment being called for what they've done to families or by a family. We got date. They have a date for judgment. They could be getting, judgment could be getting called on them for what they've been doing on dates, for what they've been doing with families. It could be that this Hierophant and this High Priestess are a family and they're calling judgment on what these ones have been doing, and they want to apologize. It's just a freaking, for lying. You know, come on, man. It's just they would have been doing it over and over. It had their plans worked out. They were happy. They were so happy to cause such suffering. It was so much fun for them. They had a great time. We've got positive. Your intentions are pure. You only want to improve life. The sun is here. Rebirth. All is well. Ace of Pentacles. There's a new career. Could be working on something. Restoring balance. Removing the vision of people from your intentions. They can't see your intentions. They might be blind to your intentions. Losing their sight. You got a victory here with the Chariot here. You're leaving behind Mr. Passion Project because you're successful. You know that there's no greater goal than to love, and you got the schedule here. Look, health. So you put your health at the top of your line, or maybe you are going to be teaching people how you moved through this, High Priestess. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. Maybe you're part of people's health and wellness journey since you made it through this brutality, this illusion, this severe betrayal and crime. There's a Page of Swords here, all up in their head. They can't stop thinking. They're rushing around. There's a punishment here for their lack of accountability, their dishonesty, their lying. There's death here to their gain, death to their profit, and death. This is the conclusion. It's death to their gain, death to their feasting. Death to their feasting on your reward, on what you have grown, on your mind, what you're here to create with. These ones didn't create squat when they had access to that. They used that to hurt other people in the past. They're being punished for causing death for gain in the past. They're being punished for unaliving people in the past for profit. A Page. High Priestess is here choosing to focus on the lighter side of life. Courage, persistent, resilient. These ones have to accept responsibility for their own well-being. They're in a natural disaster and a nightmare. We got revenge. Chaos. Sorry. Maybe they were blaming this High Priestess for the natural disasters, for the nightmares. They were blaming her, covering her in the blame of creating all of this suffering. We've got death in the past for profit. What the hell? Love. They brought a nightmare to love, and they were blaming this High Priestess, who is love. The Ace of Cups is here, standing up for herself with the truth. The Ace of Swords, she's in her purpose, stopping this, and we've got friendly. She's kind, she's friendly, she's honest. Could be that anybody who's approaching with kindness and friendliness is being stopped. People are talking about the dishonesty in the grapevine. Somebody's arguing and they want to apologize. They're greedy. The greedy ones want to reconnect to the gift. This imposter. They've been targeting people. They've been looking up driver's license plates, addresses. They've been talking about home security systems, cameras. They've been talking about any weapons that might be in the home. What's your defense system? They're a constant threat. Death. The Hierophant's here, making plans for the future. Could be separating people. There's discipline being delivered. These people are getting separated out. You're getting your privacy. This is bad news for them. They could be looking online in some online community with their phones, and they're seeing bad news. House. Misfortune. Unfortunately, I have some bad news to share. Your house is on fire. Burning it to the ground. Priest. The Hierophant is burning the house of this priest to the ground. Ten of Cups unions lost their way, but they're back together. They've grown in consciousness and awareness over the illusions that this tribe was pulling on them. They can see what they've been doing. These pleasure seekers, these thieves, these brutalizers. These illusionists, using stolen intellectual property of high priestesses, captured, trapped, neuralized, mentally RAP'd, memories siphoned, taken over and over and over again through many birth and death cycles. So you are giving. You're giving charity. You're giving generously. There's a Knight of Swords who's ambitious. They want to come forward real quick. This is an envious mask wearer who's going to try to invite you on a trip. They're pretending that they're peaceful. They might want to try to invite you on some sort of a meditation retreat or something. They're thinking about a young woman being their lover, some young woman who has her wings. So this mask wearer is targeting a young woman who has her wings, and they want to tempt this person with a good time. They're targeting somebody here who has who is kind and generous. King of Pentacles in the reverse. Obsessed over the wealth of other couples. They use religion to entertain themselves as entertainment. It's just what they do to cover all of this nastiness that they do, all this entertaining stuff. They're hidden under this religious thing. This religious umbrella. So this religious umbrella, it's like they're targeting relationships that are here to serve the higher good, and they're 10 of Pentacles. This priest is freaking targeting married couples in their own church. happy people. They're in a tower. The wheel is turning. It's time for judgment. There's a date with this family. They're in a tower because of what they've been doing with dating and this family, this whole tribe is under judgment for what they've been doing with date night, relationships that are supposed to serve the higher good. They've been targeting people, interfering with their lives, siphoning their wealth. Thief. This thief is under judgment by this family, by this high priestess Hierophant, for what they've done to the family, for what they've been doing to families. The sun is here, working hard to restore balance, to take the sight of these ones, to restore, an environment where people's intentions are pure, consistently. Or a positive, balanced. Oh, the Lord is dealing with this enemy. The enemy is praying to the Lord. It's like, really? Come on, man. They're a foe. The enemy is now wanting forgiveness for what they've done here. You've got a victory here. You're in your chariot. You're leaving back. You're leaving behind this passion project, this nastiness, because you know that there's no greater goal than to love. You have been successful. You completed an impossible path according to those abusers of yours. It could be that you managed your health very well. Maybe you're going to be part of the health and wellness journey of others in the future as a high priestess who overcame. And a Hierophant, high priestess Hierophant. These mask wearers mess stuff up. Look, gift. You are the gift. It could be a gift that you're offering. You've got a wealth of knowledge that you can share on how to maintain your health. When sick people are coming after your money, they're sick over your money. They're restless in their mind. They were unfair. They were dishonest. They're being punished because they were causing death in order to gain the fruits of somebody else's labor in the past. It could be that they're going to receive death for doing such thing. We've got widower. Yeah, past widower. This person has been unaliving. It could be that this person unalived the high priestess. This could actually be the little punk that unalived the high priestess. This could be that curator. This could be that curator who insists that he owns the minds and the lives and the energy of everybody, including, they fumbled her. This page didn't have any capacity for anything except for he trapped this one. He was able to trap her. They were bragging how it had been going on for centuries. They were so sure that it would always be this way. High Priestess is here, focused on the lighter side of life. She's like, man, this is getting real old. They're afraid because they were blaming their natural disasters and their nightmares on her. Maybe they were bringing her natural disasters and blame and nightmares, lots of suffering to love. It could be that they're afraid because they have to accept responsibility for their own well-being, and it's going to be a tough time, and it's going to be a lot of suffering, a lot of darkness, because that's the energy that they like to play in. But we've got fortune here. They could have a fortune of nightmares coming their way. Centuries this has been going on. It could be that they brought natural disasters and nightmares to this high priestess because they wanted her fortune of love. They wanted to destroy her fortune of love. They've been bringing nightmares to her fortune of love. They have to accept responsibility for their own well-being because she focused on the lighter side of life, and she's a high priestess, so she has a fortune of love, and she overcame this, and she's tired, man. Wife, a faithful wife that these ones were slandering in the most egregious manner. What they were doing to the divine feminine's energy is completely unacceptable. Trying to frame her, making her look like a prostitute by harvesting the energy, or going out and having orgies and then downloading that essence, that energy into somebody's toroidal field as they slept at night. I mean, these people were framing others by polluting their energy in so many ways. So the high priestess and this Hierophant are back together. This priest is having a bad time. There's love here. They're maintaining control of this. They got the truth with the sword of truth. They're in their purpose, and they're very friendly about it. They're stopping these people. They're in their purpose. They're approaching with nothing but kindness, and they're being this theft and all of this abuse is being stopped. They're going to prison. They could be in a mental prison. Somebody may want to approach you with friendliness because they're in a mental prison. They're being stopped. This is a prideful servant who is in despair, melancholy, sick, death. What they did to this Hierophant's wife is absolutely unacceptable. They're going to pay. They're going to get exactly what they deserve for what they have layered upon this sacred divine feminine. For the crimes and the disgusting filth that they layered her in and blamed her for time and time again. And everyone around that was supposedly people of God misjudged her over and over again. Why? Why? Because they weren't connected to their intuition. They couldn't see the truth. This is a surprise. People are talking about this sweetheart. She's a sweetheart. Still, after all these nightmares. And now they're praying. They're praying. They're like, oh God, please save me, you know. They got to go to the doctor. Maybe they're sick. They might be in the hospital. I've heard somebody speak of an accident. I've heard somebody speaking of kidneys. Something happened. I don't know. Lots of stuff is happening. Centuries. As far as I can tell, this story started in Greece centuries ago. somebody unalived this high priestess. And I think put this high priestess and this hierophant on impossible paths. They trapped them with this, I don't know what kind of magic or what kind of stuff they had going on, but it worked back then, it's not working now. So there's a discipline here. The Hierophant is here planning for the future. He's delivering discipline. He's dishing out discipline. He's separating these people, or these people who have been using the internet to separate others, to copycat, to portray somebody as guilty, you know, to do all those nasty videos or whatever, and then stick them on the black web, and then, you know, violate somebody's energy as they sleep in their bed to try to back up the truth of their false video or whatever. This is bad news for an entire community. Bad news for an entire community. Their house is on fire. An entire community of priests. Their house is on fire. I would not doubt it if we saw some kind of cathedral fire or something. Whatever their church is, it's on fire. So we had a 10 of Cups union, total love and support, divine love. They lost their way. They're back together now. And they've grown in consciousness and awareness. They see the truth now. There was a bunch of pleasure seekers, part of a tribe, and they were messing with the mind, causing illusions in the mind. And now you know exactly what it was they've been doing. Scavengers. Scavengers, man. Walking around pretending as though they're priests. Doing filthy black magic, sex magic on people in their church that are there. They're there to target the wealth and stability of people that are in there. This is not a church. It's not a church. You're very generous here. They want your generosity. They want your empathy. They're coming in trying to think fast. This is a mask wearer who's very envious. They might try to invite you on a trip or something, to some meditation, some kind of retreat. You've got your wings here. They're saying, hey, it's a good time. I don't know. We got lover, young woman, and thought. They're in their thoughts about this young woman. They want to make her a lover. They want to get in her thoughts. They got to make a sexual act. They got to vilify, degrade, defile her energy. This is a mask wearer. We got resistance. So we got a King of Pentacles reversed. This greedy, obsessed person is targeting relationships that serve the higher good. They're in a 10 of Pentacles. They're happy people. They've been using this religious front as an entertainment, to do their entertainment under, to do this nastiness that they've been under, this curiosity, spying on people's minds, astral projecting into their house, checking to see what kind of wealth they have, sending in Jezebel Gigolo to break up the marriage, to cause instability, then to come in and scoop it up, save the day, and then replace you and take it and do all this nasty crap that they've been doing. Freaking scavengers. They're in a tower. The wheel is turning. You've got a family here, or this whole family is under judgment because what they've been doing on date night, this thief, this family of thieves, creating mischief in the memory, in the history, in the mind of people. Poke, 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 pull, 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 attack, attack, attack. steal, 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 drive people into misery, and then point at them and say they're not capable of holding themselves together. And nobody knows that these smile in your face people are actually coming after you hard in the unseen realms. The sun is here, shining a light on everything. There's a rebirth, there's a work, lots of work being done here to restore balance, to take the sight from these ones. They cannot focus or see what's happening in the life of those who are consistently positive. If you're consistently positive, then these ones are going to be made blind. They can't get into you. They're being warned here. Stay away from people who are positive and happy and here to do something beneficial for the community. You've got a Chariot here. You're leaving this passion project behind. Little Mr. Sexy. Ick, charming. You're successful. You know there's no greater goal than to love, and you're making, there's a schedule here. It could be that you're the new health guru or something. You're the gift. It could be that you have a gift of health, or maybe you're on the schedule to have your health restored because you're not a negative influence. You're not a negative influence. Page of Swords. Page of Swords. He had no business having access to this sacred high-level wisdom. He's too immature, too cruel, and there's no honor, there's no morals, there's no ethics, there's no feeling anything except pleasure when they hurt somebody or steal something from somebody. They've been using death. They've been committing redrum to take things from people. They've been widowing married couples in the past for profit. For gain. So they could take the fruits of their labor. Wow, we're going in a new direction. High Priestess is here, focused on the lighter side of life. She is love. She's a fortune of love. A fortune of love is what she is. She's a faithful, devoted wife who has been covered in blame and shame and this ridiculous, perverted bullpucky that these jackwagons operate out of. Disgusting. They were blaming her for these natural disasters and these nightmares, or they were sticking that blame and shame and that karma debt onto her, forcing her to transmute their bad karma and their death energy, their nasty, dark, black energy. They're in a nightmare now. They have to accept responsibility for their own well-being because she is love. She's got a fortune of love and she's faithful. Now they're in a freaking nightmare. Now they need to survive because everything they do to her is rolling right off. Rolling right off. It's not sticking. They have to accept responsibility for their own actions. If they want to go out there and do magic to try to curse this woman, to try to dress her up in foul, perverted, disgusting orgy, whatever kind of foul blood, whatever, you know, it's rolling off of her. They have to, it's going to come back on them. It will be their responsibility to manage the results of those intentions. The divine stated some time ago that their intentions will be their reward. There's an Ace of Cups love here. You're protected. You're maintaining control. You're standing up for yourself. You got the Ace of Swords here. You're wielding the Ace of Swords. You know the truth. You're here in your purpose. You're approaching with nothing but kindness. You're very kind. You're not here in malice. You're not here to create whatever it was that they've been blaming her for, these nightmares, They were trying to say what? They were trying to say she was causing natural disasters and nightmares for them, for others, and now they're being stopped. They're going to prison. They're in a mental prison. They got to be stopped, man. They're gross. Yeah, so this battle is being stopped. Their ability to continue hurting this person and others is being stopped. They're going to prison. They could be in a mental prison. Whatever it is, they're going to be removed from your experience. That could very well be that curator. He sounds like a page. He's old, obviously. He's been around for centuries. Young, siphoning the energy and the life force vitality out of high priestesses and stars and suns and empresses and whoever else. His life should have been over a long, long time ago. They left you in isolation, and then they pretended they were you. So they hid you away, and then they siphoned your energy, put you in South Node. You may have been angry as a young adult, and that's what happened. They flipped you into South Node during your hormonal years, during your, bad family experiences or whatever. They flipped you into South Node. You were alone. You had nobody to support you or to listen to you. And then they pretended that they were you in a North Node energy, because they were siphoning all of your happiness, all of your health and well-being, all of your peace. And they were giving you nastiness. They were seen, observed. Everything they've done has been seen. They were causing risk. They were causing distraction in this sacred space. They were invited in to collaborate, and then they stole the house and created a battlefield. Your gifts are protected. You're leaving this behind. They can no longer tap in and use your sacred divine wisdom to hurt you and others. And that's the thing. It's like they were using the energy, the wisdom, the essence of this high priestess to hurt the people she loved. And then they were blaming her for doing it. So they're making preparations. There's a routine. So preparations are being made regarding their routine of bringing upheaval and self-interest, of feeding on others. So they were bringing upheaval to other people's lives. They were feeding on their well-being, on their energy, on their wealth, on whatever, happiness. And they've been exposed. They've been exposed, stealing the seeds that everybody was trying to plant to improve their own life and the lives of their communities, their environment. They pulled up all those seeds. They've been exposed, and they're being released for working together to create trickery regarding high value, loyal, faithful, loving, divine, sacred, I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. I hope that it brings confirmation to something that you may have already intuitively knew. And I will see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.